Your first job is the worst job. How was your performance in school?
Did my schooling well. I got decent enough scores. I did get selected for IIM Shillong.
When you're pursuing engineering, how you realize that it's not meant for me?
I used to find fun in mathematics, and when I saw FRM, so I realized that okay, these are the things that I actually know.
Was it helpful what you have studied in your MBA? Is there visible advantage that you had over other candidates?
So I think the foundation was laid. I think because I had that exposure, that gave me more clarity.
रिस्क से रिलेटेड क्या सीखा है?
डिफिकल्ट है मेजर करना, जो हमने बुक्स में पढ़ा वर्सेस जो एक्चुअली करते हैं, दैट्स वेरी डिफरेंट सर.
Industry would want to work as?
I would say sir, credit risk.
Let's say someone who knows credit risk will be equivalently paid 7, 8, 9 lakhs on the starting side. It can go as high as.
Very true sir.
How you landed up with Bank of America?
Questions are more not towards the financial side of things. It's more about judging the person. Companies like BlackRock, Macquarie Group, KPMG, these guys actually called me looking at my LinkedIn.
How do I convince interviewer today that what you did in the interview?
Yes sir, the one thing that I called out was
You cleared FRM. Has it opened more doors for you, newer opportunities?
right now I can't see the actual implementation into my job.
Doing FRM first, then you would have done MBA. Is it a better strategy?
अगर आपने बाद में करा तो your progress will be slow, but you'll obviously reach that level because
Just completing a certification now is a bare minimum thing, right? But any specific skill that you are targeting, you are working in the industry as well. What's the trend these days? Do you think FRM is meant for only cream of the cream students?
obviously to get into that industry you have to be at that particular cream level. You have to have cleared that bar.
What is the minimum package salary that I can expect?
So you can expect close to, on a mean I would say,
Even in metro cities, that's a good salary to start. Hello Jatin, how are you?
hi yes sir, I'm good. Hope the same
Okay.
with you.
Yes, I'm also doing good. So, just tell us firstly about yourself, about your education, where, your schooling, your subjects, which background you are from, technical, non-technical background. Just start from the start.
I'll be happy to share that information. So I'm born and brought up in Delhi only.
Mhm.
I did my schooling from Ramjas, Karol Bagh. And after that, like any science student, I decided to go for engineering, which I completed it from IP University,
Mhm.
Dwarka. And engineering, I did it in civil engineering.
Mhm.
As the time went on, as I started to understand what I wanted to do in life, I realized that engineering was not my calling, like every engineer. And after that, I decided to, leave this particular thing. I have
Mhm.
to do MBA or, venture into a different avenue.
Okay.
And that's how I actually started preparing for CAT.
Mhm.
And I then after completed my engineering back in 2020, and after that I did my MBA from Narsi Monji
Mhm.
in 2022.
Okay.
After that I was hired into Bank of America. I did my MBA in finance.
Okay.
Finance, I felt like finance was my calling at that particular time. At least right now it's still true because I am continuing with that.
Okay.
So I was hired into Bank of America, and my role basically revolved around operational risk and control
Mhm.
and their governance.
Mhm.
So with time I got to know that in today's world an MBA just won't cut it. If you want to be at the top of the pool, the MBA won't cut it.
Mhm.
So you have to do any certifications or get better with that field. And that's when I came across certifications like CFA, FRM, and other big certifications which are highly accredited. And my vice president at the time told me that you should go for FRM.
Okay.
Because again I was a part of operational risk and control team, so I think FRM really fit that criteria well.
Okay.
And that's how I got to know about QuintEdge. I started researching, got to know about QuintEdge, and completed my FRM level 1. That's how I'm here.
Okay, so I think you have walked me through the entire journey. Let me take you back to your school days.
Yeah.
Like how would you say you were studious? You're amongst the backbenchers. Like, how was your performance in school? Because I'll share my experience. Generally, I've seen the students who were extremely, let's say, notorious in their school days. I find them in class nowadays extremely serious because they know we are against the wall now. Like if we do it, we do it. Otherwise, we don't know what will happen in next 2-3 years.
Yes.
So what about you? Like,
Sir, I think you rightly called it out. I was, I think I wasn't the front benchers or the back benchers. I was in the middle benchers,
Mm.
wherein you have the top 5 quartile versus the bottom 5 quartile, but I was in the
middle.
middle range.
Okay.
So nothing spectacular as such. Did my schooling well. I got decent enough scores. But with time, I realized that again, this won't cut it. And I think this happened when I was hired into the job, which is surprising because usually people realize this while they are, let's say, preparing for CAT exams, while they are doing their MBA. But I think at that particular point in time, I was more focused about, because again, I was born and brought up in Delhi. So getting a chance to get out of Delhi and, live alone with friends without parents, I think that got me excited. So I was not very studious at that particular time, but in this particular role, I realized.
So like you chose Narsimunji also because you will get an opportunity to go out.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
There were options as well, but yeah, I
Like
think
you had better options in Delhi. Like, huh?
not in Delhi, sir, but I did get selected for IIM Shillong. My name was there on that list, but then again, I think because of me being general category and B.Tech with not so very reputed college, so I think that's why I was dropped out from that list. But I think that was the best option that I had.
Okay.
And now that I think back upon it, I think it was it's a tier 2 or 1.5 college, I would say.
Narsimunji.
Yes, it's basically less than IIMs only. So from when I see my entire journey, I think I'm satisfied. But again, more to achieve, more to do.
Okay. Now coming to your college days, so like my experience with the people like in CFA batch or FRM batch who are coming from engineering background is, especially with FRM, they are very 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 good with numbers, but they struggle a lot with theory topics. So was there any like particular highlight during when you are pursuing engineering where you might have realized that maybe I should not go for maybe in this field and maybe let's start exploring? So was there a particular event or like how you realize that it's not meant for me?
Yep. Sir, I think now that you mention it, I do recall certain times back when I was in 12th. So, and surprisingly, back when I was in 7th and 8th class, maths was my weakest subject. I still remember I used to get scolded by my dad, and we used to stay up late at around 10 or 11 in the evening because I have my exam the next day and I didn't prepare. But I think with time, by the time I reached 12th, my maths was, at least I used to find interest in maths. I still remember the concepts of integration and derivation that was taught us back in the day. And when I went to engineering, I think there was this one particular semester that comprises of statistical mathematics. And that's when I got to know about the normal distributions, the distributions, regression, and things like that. And when I saw FRM and its syllabus, so I realized that okay, these are the things that I actually know. And given that book 2 basically comprises of these things, but my foundation was laid out at that particular point in time. And given the fact that I used to find fun in mathematics, statistics, mathematics, everything like that, so I think things went really well hand in hand. And even in MBA, sir, I studied a lot of financial markets and products, even though it was I would say my weakest subject from the quartile score that I got in the FRM, but still I had the small understanding as to what happens. Nothing was new for me. At least I had read about it, I knew about it. But again, quants was my strong suit. Yep.
Okay, it's generally with the people who are coming from like a lot of people who come from, let's say, non-commerce background have this apprehension that is it like will I be able to cope up with CFA as well as FRM, because they assume that finance, someone who have done let's say BCom would have already gone through futures, options, derivatives. I don't think it's covered that extensively, if it is covered. And was it helpful what you have studied in your MBA and during your NG? Like, is there a very like visible advantage that you had over other candidates who have not pursued maths or maybe who have not done learned about financial products?
Yeah, sir. I think it was because the book 2, I think majority of the book 2 comprises of VAR, normal distributions, statistics, regression, and obviously from my engineering days, it's been I don't know, close to 3 years, 4 years now since I've left engineering, done my engineering. But still, I could remember, okay, this is how we used to find the z-score of this distribution. This is the difference between, let's say, normal distribution and the t distribution. So I think the foundation was laid. And again, I think because I had that exposure back in 12th, back in my engineering days, that gave me more clarity. And given the fact that I did my MBA, that also, again, sir, rightly said, options and Greeks and things like that are not extensively covered in the curriculum. But I knew what, let's say, the simple stuff was how bonds value is calculated, how present value is calculated, things like that. So I think it's all about laying that foundation and building upon it. So foundation was laid at that particular point in time.
Okay. What have you learned about risk in FRM part 1? रिस्क से रिलेटेड क्या सीखा है?
सर रिस्क रिलेटेड आई वुड से रिस्क काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट है मेजर करना. जो हमने बुक्स में पढ़ा वर्सेस जो एक्चुअली करते हैं, दैट्स वेरी डिफरेंट सर. बट अगेन देयर आर रेगुलेशंस दैट वी डू, बट it's more about knowing the things in and out. Abhi right now I'm in my very infancy stage of my career. It's been only 3 years and couple of months for me. So I'm still figuring out, but I realize this as the time goes on, as I, climb the corporate ladder, I would have that holistic understanding of what exactly goes, let's say, in market risk, credit risk, liquidity risk.
Okay.
But right now, I can't see the actual implementation into my job because again, I am in I'm at a very junior level. 3 years of experience, you can imagine. So have that very limited view, but as the time goes on, I'll have that holistic view, I would say.
Okay. So, by the way, which stream you might have thought about, right? I have done with FRM part 1, part 2. So I should be going to credit, liquidity, market, operations, where, let's say, in 5 years, 8 years down the line, which sub industry you would want to be part of and be doing good at that.
Sir, surprisingly, I feel like this is at this particular point in time, it's another thing wherein I think I have my sights on something else. So, Sudhanshu sir, he has done CQF. You also said that you're planning to do CQF. So I've been looking a lot at CQF. It's a very expensive course, I understand that, but I think that excites me rather than credit risk, market risk. Obviously, the concepts will be used there, but to have that understanding of statistics, programming and maths, because again, statistics and maths were my forte at that particular point in time. So again, I have my sights on something else at the moment.
That's the course you want to do, but the industry you would want to work as?
I would say, sir, credit risk, because that is something which is very difficult to gauge and difficult for people to understand.
Yes. I'll agree. There is no structured curriculum just on credit risk.
Yes.
Like when I also take credit risk modeling ki classes, if I have to recommend some book, it's either it's very expensive, one book will be like 7, 8, 9, 10,000 just for one book. Or there is no as such, it's very scattered. Like even if you try to compile it using ChatGPT or whatever LLM you use, it's very difficult. Everyone, it's so scattered here and there. If you want to make projects that we do, it's also one project will be like Excel sheet of 300-400 MBs. A lot of computers even struggle to open that. Then performing actual simulations on that, it takes a lot of time. But it's a really, I think when we are discussing it last time as well, it's a really, really, really thriving area where you can explore. So minimum requirement is FRM. Plus, if you know programming, that's another addition, but at least basic Excel so you should know. So, and then specifically diving into credit risk. So, and the pay is really good. Like starting packages are, let's say someone who knows credit risk will be equivalently paid to someone who has done MBA from tier 1, 1.5 college, like as good as Narsimanji. So 7, 8, 9 lakhs on the starting side just after college, and it can go as high as 30, 40 lakhs as well.
Yes.
So because you are at the very beginning stage of your career, you can easily navigate within risk also where you want to go. So keep credit risk at the back of your mind.
And I think so rightly said, because just when I cleared FRM and I put it on my LinkedIn, I've actually started to get called, because I used to hear it from people that companies actually call you, but I'm seeing it for the first hand right now that companies like BlackRock, Macquarie Group, KPMG, these guys actually called me looking at my LinkedIn and said that, Jatin, this is the profile that we're offering, and this is the thing that we are looking for in a candidate. Do you actually want to give an interview? So that was a welcoming change for me.
Do you remember what were the specific requirements?
Yes, sir. I think minimum requirement was again relevant experience, and obviously these guys prefer someone who has done CFA or FRM because these are the gold standards.
Mm.
So if you have done FRM, that is obviously that'll take you a notch better, a notch higher up. But CFA is equally accredited, as you know. That
Yes.
basically gives you that edge that okay, this person can concentrate and can given the hours that is required, show
Yes.
its dedication.
So all these calls that you have received is like related to credit risk or like some other risk.
No, sir. I think most of them were for operational risk and control.
Okay.
And because my personal, not personal, but my current profile is for operations risk and control.
Okay.
So I think these guys have seen that and then they have called it. But as rightly mentioned, sir, even in market risk, because of the FRTB coming up in 2027,
Yes.
the market is actually the organization is actually looking for hiring people who are willing to
Yes.
who know things in and out and are actually willing to work on their models that the banks and institutions have. So again, market risk in that aspect is also a very thriving field because in 2027 everything will shuffle up and everything will change.
Yeah. In fact, credit risk regulations are like Basel last major update was in 2017.
Hmm.
Now we are expecting 1, 2, 3, 4 years, right? Must be in pipeline and it will come. It will become more stricter. RBI is always on like they are always very active in implementing all these things.
Hmm.
So it will happen like globally also there will be a lot of opportunities still exist. And I think when in the credit risk modeling class, I showed them, okay, these are the norms. This is the timeline where you are expecting that new norms will come in, new professionals will be required. So it's the best time for you to prepare for credit risk.
Yes.
Okay, so coming back to your old journey, you said you're working with Bank of America and you mentioned something, your VP encouraged you to pursue something.
Yes.
So like, what was that incident?
Sir, again, all the MBA people, most of the MBA people are hired into a pool into any organization. They hire, let's say, 5, 6 people, and that's then they get hired into a pool. And each team requirement as per they pick out the people from that, pick out the students from that pool. So I was lucky enough, I would say, to get into a risk and control team. And I identified an audit issue in our particular process. I did all the good things that is required from a bank's standard and process perspective. And that's when my vice president manager at that point in time, he told me that, Jatin, you have done your MBA, you have done your B.Tech, and you're actively looking forward to making things streamlined, making processes smoother. So you should go for this certification. This will actually help you even if you stay within this organization or even if you go out. It will give you that edge when you have, because you already done your MBA, so it'll be a addition to your MBA. That will show that okay, this person has actively looked forward and gotten his hands dirty into the risk world. And that's when I looked around, looked for FRM.
He suggested you should go for FRM?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He suggested me because again, I was I think at that particular point in time I had 2.5 or maybe 2 years of experience. So 2 years of experience doesn't really opens up a lot of avenues. I'm not even sure what the other person sitting next to me does.
Yes.
I don't have that holistic view. But I think that particular advice that was given to me by my manager was a godsend at that point in time. He told me to do this, and surprisingly, sir, the process that I do, my work that I do, that relates around the mandatory time away policy.
Yes.
Which is which I studied in FRM level 1. So I could connect the dots. What exactly am I doing versus what happened and why this particular task that I'm doing came to being.
Yes.
So I think that connecting of dots is very much necessary, to get that holistic view, let's say when you grow up in an organization.
Yes. Like just going maybe 3 years back, how you landed up with Bank of America? Like it was from your college.
Yes.
So anything specific that you prepared or any, like if let's say I'm someone who is pursuing MBA, I want to crack that job, what I should be ready or what I should prepare today?
Sir, to be very honest, I don't remember what the questions were asked by the interviewers. It's been 3 years. But I think it was more related to the finance side of the world. I remember one question because the person asked me, how do you find the present value of a bond? Which is a very simple
Very
answer.
easy, yes.
But given how vast the curriculum is for MBA, you have to study everything. I think at that particular point in time, this was one question that people might have missed.
Okay.
I'm again not entirely sure.
Okay.
And apart from that, it was more towards, sir, how well do they see these candidates, these students fitting into the culture that is there in the organization. Every organization has a different culture. Some organizations are faster, some are slower. So I think it's more about judging the person if they are, let's say, willing to do, and if they are not leaving the job in, let's say, next 3 or 4 years. Because we see a lot in today's people, even people at my age who are 3 or 4 years into their careers, they tend to switch jobs.
Yes.
बट अगेन ऐसे जैसे बूढ़े लोग बोलते हैं कि आपको करियर स्विच नहीं करना चाहिए ज़्यादा.
Yes.
So you should stick with that one organization. But again, sir, there's a balancing act. आपको रुकना नहीं चाहिए, but then again, that doesn't mean कि आप कुछ भी हो रहा है and you stay with
You
it.
stay.
हाँ.
Yes.
But sir, coming back to your question, I think questions are more not towards the financial side of things, because again, everyone knows कि चीज़ें हो जाती हैं, right? It's more about judging the person. If the person is willing to work, going that extra mile in that particular organization.
Okay. So like, how do I convince interviewer today that I am the right candidate, I'll be able to go an extra mile? Like what you did in the interview.
Yeah.
Anything specific?
Yes, sir. The one thing that I called out was the internship that I did. That was, again, my internship was with the HDFC Bank in Saket branch. That basically these guys tried to explain us how the loan structure work, and they tried to create internal loan models, how that work. Not a proper modeling, but to give you that holistic view कि कैसे किस तरह से चीज़ें होती हैं ये.
Okay.
कैसे आप रेट निकालते हो, क्या क्या आप चीज़ें कंसिडर करते हो कि आपको इतना लोन देना है तो आपको इतना वापस लेना है, लेट्स से इन स्पैन ऑफ 25 years. तो आई थिंक व्हेन आई स्पोक अबाउट दैट, that gave that edge when it compares to the other candidates.
Like, is it you're talking about PD, AD, LGD modeling separately?
Sir, that, but in a very nascent stage, because PG AD modeling is जो हम अब पढ़ते हैं. But even let's say an MBA student who is doing that, who has, let's say, 1 or 2 years of experience at that particular point in time, उनको इतना ज़्यादा idea नहीं होगा. तो I think that experience that I got from HDFC Bank with my interview, with my internship, that actually I feel like give me that boost.
Okay. Now, like coming back to your recent achievement, you cleared FRM. Has it like opened more doors for you, newer opportunities? Like, I know you're still working with the same organization, so maybe like you got more opportunities to perform different types of roles if in case no promotion etc is there, or like how clearing FRM have impacted your professional life?
I think, sir, right now I am not planning to switch anytime soon, because I think in our organization they actually value people's time and respect. Because again, there are companies that give you high pay, but they also extract that time out of you. There are organizations that makes you work 18 or even 20 hours a day, but Bank of America is not one of those organizations. They give you comparatively less pay, but they'll also ensure that you have that peace of mind, you have that well-being time for you. Coming back to the question, sir, I think right now my task isn't really changed at this point in time, because I cleared almost 2-3 months back, right? These guys are still trying to figure out what needs to be given to me, because I'm still in that very nascent stage of my career. Right now, I'm continuing with my operational risk and control work that I've been currently doing, and obviously taken up additional responsibilities, like learning up Alteryx and Tableau, because this is very much necessary in today's world. Right. Excel is kind of becoming
obsolete.
Outdated. I didn't want to say that word, but you've already said it out. Everyone is moving into Tableau because it's much more visually appealing. So it's all about learning and improving what you already know. There's no full stop कि अच्छा आज तक मैंने कर लिया अब मैं और कुछ नहीं सीखूंगा. There's nothing like that. आपको सीखते रहना पड़ेगा, even if you, let's say, become a 50-year-old CEO of an organization, but आपको तब भी सीखते रहना पड़ेगा. So I'm trying again. I have my sights fixed on CQF, but at the same time I'm learning Alteryx and Tableau.
Okay, CQF, it's a very long-term commitment.
Yes.
These softwares, like, they are, I don't think it should take more than a month or so to get your hands dirty. Obviously, you can master, it will take a lot of time to master a particular software. But yes, 1 month, 2 months are good enough to get a basic understanding. Okay. Coming back, like you decided to pursue FRM. There are so many other like prep providers, and like I remember I have pursued FRM self, right? I haven't joined any coaching institute. So like you finally decided, okay, you want to pursue FRM. Then you have to select a prep provider. So why you landed up with QuintEdge? Like, was there any specific reason, or like how it
Yeah.
happened?
Great question, sir. Again, my journey started as like everyone's journey. I want to do FRM, so let me just search FRM coaching nearby me. That's when I came across QuintEdge and its other competitors. Uh, the QuintEdge, that thing that actually got me hooked was the live classes part, and what was given to us in a form of portal wherein you can actually actively solve questions. You can interact with the teachers, the instructors. You have your AI doubt solving session, that portal,
Yes.
wherein even if let's say you are trying to solve a question, let's say at 1 in the morning, and obviously no one is available at that particular point in time, you can actively go ahead and get your answers resolved.
Yes.
And the fact that how QuintEdge focuses on studying, because I think in competitors, what I noticed was these guys were making us read from the book and highlighting what's the important part is. But in QuintEdge, we don't do that. I think that is what I have seen with you, with Sudhanshu sir, with Sandesh sir, that these guys teach by their own method. They do not refer to the book's curriculum. But that doesn't mean that book curriculum doesn't get covered. It's more of an understanding thing that you don't have to, learn everything. आपको रट्टा कुछ नहीं मारना, आपको समझनी है चीजें. And I think that's what got me, because again sir, आपकी जो आइडियोलॉजी थी कि पहले आप वीडियो देखो, फिर बुक पढ़ो, और फिर क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो. That actually covers your one entire chapter. I did that for level 1, level 2, and hopefully the result is in front of you.
Yes. So, like, how much time you spent covering level 1? Like, if I want to start today, how much time will it take me to cover entire syllabus? Assuming that I am from engineering background, I know basics of quants, also know something about financial products.
Okay, sir, it's a difficult question.
How much time it took you?
वही sir, I'm trying to figure out. So, I started my journey in July of last year.
Okay.
And May के अंदर I gave that exam. So it took around 8-9 months. And उसके अंदर my office timing used to start around 11-10 in the morning, and it used to go on till 8 or 9 in the evening.
Okay.
So almost every day, मतलब even on Sundays and Saturdays, I used to wake up at 5 in the morning. I used to study for 3 or 4 hours straight without, because सुबह उठ के your mind is very fresh. You can study easily.
Yes.
And again, that dedication actually wants you to put aside your fun time, your other activities. I love to go to the gym, but by the time I started preparing for FRM, itna zyada I couldn't keep up with the I've gained thoda sa ho gaya hai, fat bhi aa gaya hai. But again, that's a short term thing. But my point is, you have to put aside your other things. You actively have to focus. And on Sundays and Saturdays, sir, I used to give around 8-7 hours straight. No friends meetup, no personal commitments.
And this continued for 7-8 months.
हाँ जी. Okay. Yes. Then only I could clear. And I remember I calling you multiple times, messaging you multiple times. What should I do? What should I do? And this is again the one thing that you told me कि it's a 3-step process. पहला वीडियो देखो, फिर आप बुक पढ़ो to understand that. जब सारी चीजें हो जाए, then you solve the question. That completes your one chapter, and you have to repeat this for the entire syllabus.
Yeah.
Once that is done, and in the same meanwhile, you also have to keep on revising, because the syllabus is very huge. So I used to dedicate Fridays every week just to revise whatever was taught to me. So जैसे मान लीजिए अगर आपने आज start करा है syllabus, so let's say next Friday, so एक chapter approximately होगा. So I used to revise that. But let's say 6 months down the line, when you are in the middle of that chapter, so I ensured that I'll revise 3 or 4 chapters prior to what was being taught by me. So that way the revision stays on continuously.
Okay, so it's a rolling revision you kept on doing.
Because if you don't do that, you'll start forgetting things. It's a very, very extensive and huge syllabus.
Yes. Okay, and like what about FRM too? Because that's altogether a different beast, right? Almost 100 chapters.
Yeah. Again, the strategy was same. I think I had my strategy well laid out by you. कि पढ़ना है, question solve करने हैं, revise करना है, and continued that. Rigor was थोड़ा और ज़्यादा strong because the syllabus is very huge. One good thing or maybe bad thing about level 2 is कि there are no numericals as such. तो आपके पास ज़्यादा theory है. So that can be a good thing or a bad thing according to the candidate. So people who find theory interesting, तो उनके लिए easy हो जाती है चीज़ें. तो but revisions used to stay on continuously. Saturday, Sundays को 5-6 घंटा minimum देना. even on, let's say, whenever I had a holiday,
Okay.
whenever even I had work from home days. So work from home के अंदर you don't get to travel back to home or travel to office. Yeah, so you get around 2 hours of me time, extra time. So उसके अंदर थोड़ा सा रिवाइज करना, let's say when you go for a walk, when you are going somewhere, तो
Okay.
उसके अंदर जो पोर्टल के वीडियोस हैं उनको सुनना, just to remember क्या हमने पढ़ा था.
Yeah.
So that continuous learning and continuous preparation was the key.
Okay. Okay. Now, like since FRM is done, now do you go to gym?
Sir.
Yes.
I'm trying to hit it back to my original physique once again.
Okay. So I'll share something from my experience.
Yeah.
Like it is an endless thing. I like at my end also I keep on pursuing courses, right? I don't make it public that I'm doing that. If I achieve a qualification, I'll update it maybe on the LinkedIn, etc. But at the back end, I keep on doing courses, right? And it will happen with you also for foreseeable future, 3 4 5 years. There will be, like, you recently cleared one more exam, right?
Yes.
Then there will be something else. You always have higher and higher ambition.
Yes, sir.
So it's like you have to balance your physical at least maybe 20 30 minutes 40 minutes. You have to balance that. Otherwise, like, you're too sucked, and ultimately in long term it affects your efficiency of learning as well.
Very true, sir. Huh.
Yes.
Very true. So right now, even at this particular point in time, I'm more focused about learning things, difficult things, certifications like FRM, CQF. Because again, sir, I don't want to call anyone out, but I'm not married at the moment.
Yes.
So I don't have that commitments as of now.
Yeah.
Things will happen, let's say 3 4 years down the line, but at least abhi ke liye I can focus on myself.
Yeah.
I can actively dedicate hours to study.
Yes.
So that's why I'm trying to do that right now before marriage, because सबको पता है कितना important है marriage in Indian households.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay, great. So, like, you have covered FRM part 1, part 2. You're also targeting different courses. Like, any plans you have, like, how you must have thought about it, I'm pretty sure, how you're going to make your next move. Like, I'm not talking about switching a company. Within Bank of America also, you can move to, let's say, some other profile, right? IGPs are there, internal transfers are there. So there's some skill set that is required. Just completing a certification now is a bare minimum thing, right? Maybe 15 20 years down the line, when, like, we were very young, very small, then at that point in time, like, he has done a particular certification, he has done MBA as an engineer, his life is set. Now a lot of people have done all these certifications already. So earlier it used to be the peak, now it is the minimum requirement. Like, there are hundreds of FRMs in market. So to fight with them, anyways, I have to do FRM plus something extra. I need to learn some skill, etc. You're already learning softwares, etc. as well. But any specific skill that you are targeting?
So I think first and foremost is to have a zeal to learn, not just studies, but the work that we do.
Yes.
Work के अंदर भी काफी चीजें होती हैं that those small tasks, those small challenges that actively makes you think in a different way. And I think for me personally, being humble is very important. There are times even in office as well wherein किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया, बुरा लग गया, but again you have to understand these guys are tenured, they know what they're doing. तो आपको थोड़ा सा humble रह के you have to be very receptive of what is given to you. Again, that doesn't mean कि आप कुछ भी ले लोगे, वो बोलेंगे कुछ भी कर दो, तो that is not what I mean. But you have to have that balancing act. And obviously the first thing is to have a zeal to, to learn
something,
to go that extra mile. And that's how I came across FRM, right, sir? अगर मैं उस टाइम पे अपने मैनेजर के अंदर, वीपी के अंदर, अगर मैं वो प्रोजेक्ट नहीं करता, तो ही वुडंट हैव टोल्ड मी अबाउट FRM. ही वुड FRM नहीं पता लगता तो मुझे CQF पता नहीं लगता. देन आई वुडंट हैव नोन कि अच्छा जो मैं काम करता हूँ, हाउ डज दैट फिट इनटू द बिगर पिक्चर. सो आई थिंक यू शुड ऑलवेज हैव दैट zeal, that ambition to do something good, and things will eventually fall in place.
Okay. ठीक है. अच्छा, if in case you would have not done MBA and maybe have done FRM, maybe in which year you did MBA, like, doing FRM would be a better ROI in that particular time, or I'm saying you would have done both the courses, but doing FRM first, then you would have done MBA. Is it a better strategy, or complete your graduation? And if you, in case you plan to do post graduation, do that and then do any certification course.
Sir, right now I think more important is because, again, rightly mentioned by you, there are so many FRMs in the market. There are so many MBAs and B.Tech people in the market. to have that differentiation, to have that standing out. What I'm seeing right now is the juniors that are there in my college, even in top IIMs as well. What they do is they do their BCom, they do their bachelor's, and then they do, let's say, one CFA level 1, FRM level 1 to get that to get their profile strong. And obviously they also have to prepare CAT ke liye, exams ke liye.
Yes.
And I think that gives them that edge. I would again say, sir, there is no right or wrong with this. अगर आपने पहले कर लिया तो you will be obviously reap that fruit, क्योंकि आप top institute like IIMs और even abroad के अंदर आप वहाँ पे hire हो जाओगे. You'll be selected for that. अगर आपने बाद में करा तो your progress will be slow, but you'll obviously reach that level because आपने ultimately वो चीज़ कर ली, and obviously you have that experience right now that speaks for itself.
Okay.
So I feel like there's no right or wrong question to it. जितनी जल्दी आप समझो उतना अच्छा. If you want to do it पहले, then also it's fine. If you think कि अच्छा मैं CAT और FRM या CFA साथ में कर सकता हूँ, then it's good. Then I think that's the best strategy. But if you think you can't do it, then focus on CAT. Clear yourself a good IIM or a top tier 1, tier 1.5 college. उसके बाद फिर start working on your certifications.
Yes, I asked this question because nowadays, 5 years, 8 years ago, this was not the trend. But nowadays, I see a lot of 12th pass students coming and saying, "Sir, we want to do FRM because there is no as such eligibility requirement." So by the time I will take 3 years to complete my FRM, because anyways I'll not be able to do job. So I'll complete my FRM, I'll learn maybe some skills, risk modeling or whatever you say, I'll learn this. And when I move out of college, I already have those skills. I already have my FRM. I'm also done with my college from tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 college. They generally, because if you are from tier 1 college, you anyways don't get a lot of time. So I'll be done with a lot of things. So now in maybe post-COVID, this trend have changed recently.
I think it's more about, sir, जैसे इन्फ्लेशन होता है ना, एक टाइम पे होता था कि B.Tech कर लो आपकी लाइफ सॉर्ट है, फिर वो B.Tech MBA कर लो फिर आपकी लाइफ सॉर्ट है. Now it's B.Tech MBA plus some other certification like CFA, FRM या कुछ भी, even CA for that matter. Because I've seen a lot of CAs who get selected into top IIMs. उन्होंने CA कर रखा होता है, they have done their bachelor specifically BCom and then they get selected into IIMs. तो I think inflation ही है.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like. But rightly said, sir, कि चीज़ें have becoming different. And again, if you don't mold yourself to it, then you'll become obsolete. आपको change के साथ साथ update करना ही पड़ेगा.
What about you? Like, if it was not finance, what industry would have pursued your career?
Sir, that is very tricky question. I feel like the most common job that any engineer gets, I did my civil engineering, but it's very difficult to actually get a civil engineering job if you're not from, again, top tier 1 colleges. So I feel like I would have been doing coding because coding is something that I'm okay with. I don't enjoy that much, but again, I don't dislike it. So that is something that I'm okay, complacent with. So I feel like I'd be doing some coding and then I would have realized कि अच्छा ये this is not my calling, let me switch to some place else.
Okay, so anyways you would have switched. Okay. Okay. So I'll ask few questions related to FRM then. Like, do you think FRM as a course is meant for only the let's say most cream of the cream students, or anyone who is so, let's say, decent with, he scores 65-70% marks in, let's say, 12th or his colleges, can he also successfully start and then complete FRM?
Sir, I think the good thing about FRM is they don't have any eligibility criteria. So they really want to test you how rigorous you are with the syllabus and how rigorous you are with what we as an institute give you to study. FRM, at least to me that I have seen, it makes more sense as you climb that ladder. At least you have that holistic view. Because sir, जैसे the process that I'm a part of, I figured it out after FRM कि अच्छा मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ and how does that fit into the bigger picture. I understand it's not always the case with many people, many students, but obviously to get into that industry you have to be at that particular cream level. You have to have cleared that bar. As people call it. So even if someone does 12th के बाद directly BCom के बाद directly FRM, that in itself ensures that okay, this person is dedicated.
Okay,
he can actively give time to studying and he's focused towards that. From my personal experience, I feel like certifications are an extension to your master's program. For example, MBAs. If you have, let's say, an MBA or if you have a certification, these two things do not give you that good of a return. if you have these both things combined, then also it's a, you have that business side of understanding how to manage people, whilst you also know how to manage the financial side, or even CFA for that matter.
Yes.
So that amalgamation of these two things actually really pushes candidates and profiles forward. This is what I've noticed, even in
Okay.
peers, my peers, and people across the industry.
Okay. And like, because you're working very closely and you're working in the industry as well, what's the trend these days regarding, like, you're working in operational risk, so maybe within operational risk and like any close by like sub industry?
Sir, the trend is again, from what I could see, the requirement is there in every aspect. Operational risk is also growing. Market risk again is growing. Credit risk area is also growing. So, and given how often these regulations change, how often the country structure change, कितनी जल्दी जल्दी कुछ rules and regulations आ जाते हैं, तो the organizations have to be on their toes to figure out क्या करना चाहिए. So I feel like each and every industry is growing in that aspect. even for coding for that matter. लोग बोलते हैं कि coding का अब कुछ scope नहीं है, but the people who have actually cleared the bar, जो एकदम top of the cream है, they are doing very well. They are earning very good salaries.
Yes.
So बहुत अच्छा scope है. You have to be ambitious, you have to be willing to learn, and you have to be humble. That's what I feel like.
Okay. And like the last question, if you have to go back in time and you have to decide which course to pursue, like 2 years back when you start, 1.5 years back when you started with your FRM journey, would you still prefer FRM or any other course that you now feel would have been better?
I feel like, sir, again, FRM and CFA are very much compared together. So CFA gives you that holistic view of how to manage money. But since my interest from my engineering days, even to my MBA days, my interest was more towards maths, statistics, and quant finance. So I was more inclined towards FRM. And given the fact that mera role was again into risk management and control, so that FRM wala thing really got logged into my brain. And that's how I decided to go for FRM only. Even if CFA is more accredited as a course, it's very well known because FRM is a niche course, right?
Yes, it's a niche of it. Finance itself is niche, and
Yeah.
it's a risk is niche of a niche.
Yes, I see, sir. This is CFA. If I have to draw, CFA is this, and FRM is एक field पकड़ के this.
Yes.
So I'm very much happy with what I've done because my interest lies in that. So again, interest figure out करना is very important, I feel like.
Okay, so you would again pick FRM?
Yes, yeah. Because quants, in distributions, regressions, statistics, this is not that much into CFA's curriculum, but it's there in FRM.
Okay. So let's say, I said last question, but I'll ask one or two more questions. First question is, like, you might, whenever you are pursuing any course, you are a finance guy, we always look at ROI, right? ROI, monetarily I'm talking about, knowledge, skill will develop, that is fine. So if let's say someone pursue FRM today, because you're working very closely in industry, how much he should be having minimum expectations? Maximum to sky is the limit, more you know, how much, that much you can earn. What is the minimum package salary that I can expect, and how much, like, don't quantify it in numbers, but you can say I will grow at least 20, 30%, 40% from my current, whatever the package is.
I think, sir, the question is great because ROI is something that everyone looks at. Even during MBA, even during certification, everyone looks at ROI. So I feel like if you have done MBA from a tier 2, tier 3 college, and if you have done your FRM in the recent years, right, before you've had your actual experience in the first 2, 3, even 4 years, I think you can obviously expect salaries in double digit, even touching 15 plus LPA for that matter.
Okay.
That is just for level 1. And if you have been, doing your work in the field of finance, in the field of, let's say, credit risk, market risk, or specific niches of finance, you can obviously expect more. But as sir, everything goes, things are not very black and white. So you should have the relevant experience. आपके पास degree भी होनी चाहिए. आपके पास सीखने, सबसे important तो zeal होनी चाहिए आपके पास. You should be very ambitious.
Yes.
अगर आपने certification कर ली, even if you are from IIM, but अगर आप कुछ सीखना नहीं चाहते तो फिर कोई आपको pay नहीं करेगा. So having that zeal, having that ambition, at least from my side, is very important because that is what I have observed. There are people in our organization as well who are from IIMs, but they are very stern from that perspective.
Okay.
उनको लगता है कि ये काम हमारे लिए नहीं बना.
Okay.
We are getting itni salary, so we are only doing itna work.
Okay.
So from my experience, I feel like zeal is very important, and obviously you have to keep yourself upskilling to have that relevant experience to किसी भी field में, whether it's FRM, whether it's CFA, whether it's another certification outside of finance.
Okay.
आपको upskill करते रहना चाहिए, सीखने की आपके अंदर ललक होनी चाहिए as parents से, and eventually you will sail through.
Okay. So like coming back to the original question, if someone is just coming out of college and have done his FRM, because there is no eligibility criteria as such, so have done his FRM level 1, level 2 when he is out of the college. So how much he can expect to earn on lowest side?
I think on a lowest side, from what I have seen and what I have known, I think people can expect close to 7 lakh, 8 lakh, 9 lakhs, and even touching 10 lakhs if you get lucky, if you have that,
Yes.
relevant internships done, relevant projects done. So you can expect close to, on a mean, I would say 8, 9 lakhs easily.
Okay. That's even in metro cities, that's a good salary to start. You're getting 60, 70,000 in hand. That's really good salary to start.
And given the fact that you've only invested close to 2.5 lakhs for your actual exam.
Yes.
So I think that's
very
a
good ROI.
ROI, yes.
Yes. And like I always say this to all the students, like who get placed via financial modeling course or risk modeling. This is going to be your first job is the worst job. It's always going to get better, right?
Yeah.
As you progress ahead in your position, career, switch companies. If the worst job is paying you this much, that's really good start. Okay. So like the last question, actually the last question. So like if in case I'm coming from a non-math background, I have not studied math in my college, I've studied it till 10th, and I want to pursue FRM, right? How much of a obstacle it is of not having, like I've done it till 10th, after 10th I have not done it. How big of an obstacle it is for me in comparison to someone who know maths better than me?
So I think that gap would be very limited because FRM doesn't test you on the formulas, on the equation solving skills. It's more about understanding what goes into the concepts, and that is what the questions mostly come. In level 1 as well, out of 100 questions, almost 80 or even 80 plus questions are theory questions, even from chapters that are numerically intensive.
Yes.
So it's more of an understanding of concept rather than actually knowing how to solve difficult questions. Because again, you only get close to 2.5 minutes. I think 2.5 is even more on the more side. You get only 2 minutes to solve a question. And GARP doesn't expect you to solve numericals in that particular time. So they only want you to have clear understanding of what's happening and how does this thing make a difference, in the bigger picture. So knowing formulas is not very important. Even I would even dare to say that even if you're bad or not very good at maths, but you have that conceptual clarity, you are willing to learn, I think you'll easily sail through because you don't have to solve any question. You don't have to do integration or calculus.
Yes. And like out of all the 10 subjects that we have in part 1, part 2, quants is just one subject, right?
One subject out
So
of, yes.
like it's not something that it's like 60-70% of syllabus.
Yes.
You can perform decent enough. 20 questions will be asked. If you, let's say, perform decent enough, 10, 11, 12 questions you are doing well, you can easily perform well in other subjects and clear the exams.
Yes, very true, sir.
Okay. So that is it. It was really nice having you here in the office and having this small conversation with you. Thank you for like taking out time and doing this. I hope this helps really, like this will help another Jatin who is now planning to decide which course I should pursue.
Yes.
So thank you for this.
Thank you, sir. Just one closing comment. I used to see people on YouTube, on your portal, that they used to give interviews. So it feels great to be on the other side of that podcast or the interview. So it feels great. Thank you for having me, sir.
Okay. Thank you.